I've been doing this for an hour now.
One day, you love them. The next day, you really couldn't care if they fell down the stairs. In fact, you were probably the one that contemplated pushing them. Okay, so you guys know who I'm talking about. That's right, siblings. According to an article found on WebMD.com, last updated February 2014, Dr. Dan Brennan, MD, stated, "Children are always vying for their parents' attention. The busier the parents are, the greater the demand is for their attention, and the less they can focus on each child. Sibling rivalry is an everyday issue, and sibling rivalry is influenced by many factors, is evident in childhood, and continues into adulthood." In an article found on education.com titled "Influences on Family Relationships," last updated May 2014, D.H. Thaler claims there to be many influences on sibling relationships. This article states that the family constellation, or the structure of the family, the relationships within the family, and the characteristics of the individual children all impact sibling relationships. Birth order plays a big part in sibling rivalry. The oldest child is used to getting all the attention. Therefore, they may become hostile towards the second born. The middle child often feels overlooked and may look to get attention by going about it the wrong way and causing fights between the siblings. The youngest child often tends to be more dependent on the others, making the older children more annoyed. If the age, spacing, and gender can affect the relationship between siblings. If a child is under 2 years old when the next child is born, then they don't remember having that individual time with the parents, and the tension is not created. Children of the same gender seem to fight more. Usually, if you have a big gap between the children, they have had more individual time with the parents. Therefore, they do not feel like one parent is favoring the other child, and the tension is resolved. Now that we know some possible influences of sibling rivalries, let's take a look at sibling rivalries in young children. Sibling rivalry is especially evident in younger children, according to an article found on kidshealth.org, titled "Sibling Rivalry," written by Jennifer Schroff-Penley, Ph.D., and last reviewed August 2012. Young children have different personalities which cause conflict. Older children are used to being the caretaker. A younger sibling could be attempting to test out their new wings, and the oldest child could be crushing their dreams. Younger children don't like to listen to the older siblings because, and I quote, "You're not my mom." Two of the same personalities can clash severely. If there's a big age gap between the children, they both might take on personalities of being the oldest. For example, if you have a daughter that was born 5 years before the next child, then when the oldest daughter goes off to college, the second child takes on the responsibilities of being the oldest. When the oldest child comes back from college, they both have taken on responsibilities of being the oldest, and therefore they clash because they are both top dog. If you're the youngest child for a long period of time, you will still have the qualities of being the youngest even if a new family member is introduced. Many children have different needs that require different types of attention. Special needs children need more attention than the others. Parents devote more time to the special needs children because they aren't as independent as their other children. Children often feel neglected and take it out on their siblings. In a blended family, with step or half siblings not living in the main household, when the other siblings come over to visit, the parents may spend more time with them to try to make up for the time that they don't always get to spend with them. The children may get jealous and they may become hostile towards their step or half siblings. Now that we have looked at sibling rivalry during childhood, let's travel into adulthood and see how it affects us then. Foreverfamilies.byu.edu published an article titled "Sibling Rivalry, Adult Siblings," last updated September 2012, claims that although sibling rivalries usually come to an end at adulthood, some of them travel into adulthood. Parents may set expectations for their children. and they may label their children and cause feuds. The siblings then are constantly fighting to try to prove their worth and that their label is correct. These labels shape us into the person that we are today. Favoritism affects sibling relationships in the worst way. Parents may play favorites during the child years and into the adult years. The unfavored children tend to feel upset and take it out on the other sibling. Stages of sibling relationships change with age. A marriage of another child brings mixed emotions about this occasion. There may be a feeling of a dissolving relationship, and there may be a feeling of getting completely left out. Most of the kids that when their older siblings are getting, or younger siblings are getting married, they feel kind of left out because all the attention is on the one getting married. When the parents start to near the end of their time, sibling rivalries may take an all-time high. Each child is competing for their dying parent's time, and the inheritance that is left to each child can cause major issues and may feel like they have been treated unfairly. As you can see, sibling rivalries are a very big issue that we deal with every day. Many factors influence these conflicts between siblings. They are normal during childhood, and they may affect our relationships when we are adults. Fighting with your siblings is normal, but not every situation is the same. And if you have never fought with your siblings, please share your secret with me. Just remember, it's not just your sister that gets into your thing, and it's not just your brother that gets everything he wants. It happens in most households, and you're not alone in the feeling.